at UFC 309, when Bruce Buffer introduces Jon Bones Jones, he needs to be introducing him as undefeated. 29-0. As of right now, his record stands 27 wins, 1 loss, 1 no contest. But because of all the changes that have happened to the rules recently, all the bad things he's done that have caused him to be disqualified and caused him to get a no contest wouldn't count in today's rule set. So that should be overturned, and Jon Jones should be introduced as an undefeated fighter, the greatest of all time. Do you agree? Of course you don't agree with that. Anybody who does agree with that is out of their damn mind. And I've been seeing so many people posting about the fact that Jon Jones really should have an undefeated record because the rules have changed, right? There's some asterisks beside his name. For example, when he kneed Anthony Smith, he was down. That could have been like a DQ, but because Anthony Smith was such a, tough guy, he stuck it out. He didn't want the fight to end that way, and Jon Jones ended up winning, right? But there's an asterisk there. It's like, oh, that could have been another defeat due to DQ. The 12-6 elbows, he lost technically because it was a DQ, right? But 12-6 elbows are legal now. And so therefore, Jon Jones, we should go back and rewrite history and say that actually wasn't a DQ anymore because 12-6 elbows are allowed today, right? And the no contest he has was against Daniel Cormier because he took a banned substance. Now, I don't know if this is true. I haven't researched this enough, but I have heard that banned substance now, based on the amount that he was caught with, is now acceptable under the new rules and this and that. It's no longer banned, and therefore the no contest should be overturned too. Meaning, Jon Jones is now 29-0, the same as Khabib Nurmagomedov. Like, are you guys fucking insane? Are you insane? Like, how can you possibly have this opinion? Hit the like and subscribe button. How can you possibly have this opinion? Like, are we living in a clown world? How can anybody possibly think that because the rule set has changed today, everything going back in time needs to be adjusted based on today's rule set? That is absolute insanity to have that type of opinion. So, number one, right? Every single fighter had to abide by that specific rule set at the time. So are we going to go back and now look at everybody who threw a 12-6 elbow for as long as they were an illegal move and now change the results of that fight based on that fact? Right? Because the banned substance is no longer banned in the amount that it's banned anymore, are we now going to go back in time and, basically forgive everybody who popped hot for their banned substance because this one is only acceptable in certain ratios? What level of insanity and clown world are you guys living? Or is this just a thing for Jon Jones? Like, are we just gonna do it specifically for Jon Jones because for some reason Dana White seems to be hot on Jon Jones right now? You know what I mean? Like, and here's the thing. I really do want to know what Dana has planned because, like, he doesn't just glaze people for no reason, right? Unless there is a way to extract more money for the business and for the promotion out of it, right? So if he's glazing Jon Jones, he's got some plan. After he beats Stipe, something big, right? And it could be Pereira versus Jones. It could be Aspinall versus Jones. Like, he wants to make it clear that the UFC has the baddest dude on the planet, even though we saw, a month ago Francis Ngannou win. Francis never technically lost his belt in the UFC. It could be any number of those things. But to actually go back and rewrite the history of what happened is absolutely insane, right? Now, it's one thing, right, to kind of go back, like, if it's very clear, like, and they do this in the Olympics, right? If somebody popped hot, right? They replace the silver medalist with gold, and then everybody kind of moves up in the rankings. You know what I mean? But it's not one of these things where because the rules change and now they're like, actually, you know what, he this guy deserves the gold medal because he, you know, like it's ridiculous. What, so now are we, because the rules for a grounded opponent are different, are we going to go back and now we're going to give Petr Yan the bantamweight, his bantamweight belt back, right? I think Aljo was on his knees when he needed him, so that would probably still be illegal today. But nevertheless, right? Are we going to go back to November when you know, what's his name, Ivolov, quote unquote, needed down an opponent in Arnold Allen? Are we going to reverse that? Like you can't do that, right? It's insane. All the other fighters had to abide by this specific rule set at the time, and so you didn't. Therefore, you got your no contest. You got the loss on your record, right? Because you cheated twice, at least twice. And let's not even talk about all the like eye poking and, you know, different stuff that at least twice, recognizably, you cheated, right? Not to mention the fact that there were a couple of situations where a lot of people thought that you lost, right? And guys, like, I get it, right? Like, I'm a Jon Jones hater. You know, like, I really am. I will admit it, my bias, you know, to me the GOAT is GSP, right? To me the GOAT is Demetrius Johnson, the GOAT is Khabib Nurmagomedov. Like, all these guys kind of make my list, right? Because they were clean athletes, they were respectful, you know, they were a champion in and outside of the octagon, you know what I mean? And, like, there's no record of them cheating, right? Like, every athlete has some questions, you know, there's some accusations, but Jon Jones, it's like proven, it's on tape. He did not follow the rules at the time. But now because the rules have changed and we go back and we change the record, that is bananas. That is absolutely insane. And could you imagine if other sports did this, right? Like, this is why right now the UFC is not still not completely like mainstream. It's blown up, it's huge, and I think it could be one of the biggest sports organizations in the world, right? I really think it could surpass things like NBA and MLB and all these other kind of things, because like it's so exciting, right? But until they get some standardization in place, and I'm gonna make another video on this, I've talked about this enough, but like you can't just change things because Dana White wants things to be changed. Like, that seems to be what's happening here, and it's outrageous. So, yeah, man, we cannot be overturning the results of past fights and past things based on changes to the rule set that happened today. We just can't do it, right? So, yeah, that's my rant of the day. Jon Jones is not 29-0. His record should not be changed. He's probably going to beat Stipe this upcoming weekend, right? And then maybe he moves on and fights Pereira or Aspinall. Who the hell knows, right? He did say that he's going to vacate the heavyweight belt just so that he can fight Alex Pereira, something like that, right? I personally would like to see him go back down to light heavyweight because he ruled that division, right? If he goes back down to light heavyweight, fights Pereira, I think that is to me, that's the legacy move, right? Vacates light heavyweight, goes back down, reclaims the belt that was his for so long, right? To me, that the story there is so much better. But he also said, you know, him and Pereira fight for a BMF, but he doesn't really have an interest in fighting Aspinall, right? And I get it. So it's interesting to me. But yeah, 29-0, you guys are out of your mind if you think that. And what do you guys think? Do you think that he should get this overturned? Do you think that his record should be wiped clean because of the changes in the rule set? Please let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you next time.